Oh my God, this is terrible. This is the end of my presidency. That's an exact quote from the Mueller report. It's reportedly what Donald Trump said when he first learned that an independent counsel had been appointed to investigate the Russian meddling in 2016 and his connections to it. We know that now because the Mueller report, in a redacted form, has been released. It is over 400 pages long. It is, in fact, longer than Stephen King's The Dead Zone. And apparently, if you're Donald Trump, it is also a lot scarier. We've picked a few key items, 7 in fact, that we think you'd like to hear about first. Number 1, Trump says he's This might be one of the most memorable exchanges in the entire report. It's the moment that Trump learned about the special counsel. When Sessions told the president that a special counsel had been appointed, the president slumped back in his chair and said, "Oh my God, this is terrible. This is the end of my presidency. If this report is a total exoneration,
a complete and total exoneration."
He certainly seemed concerned about what someone might find if they did some digging around there. Number 2, the report is heavily redacted. 1/3 of the pages of the report have at least one redacted word on them. A lot of this redaction may be for very good reasons. There are issues of national security, and there are issues of ongoing investigations and prosecutions, such as the current prosecution of Roger Stone. However, questions have been raised as to whether some of this redaction may be politically motivated to try to hide embarrassing details. Number 3. Sarah Huckabee Sanders admitted she just totally made stuff up. When Donald Trump fired Jim Comey, Sarah Huckabee Sanders said that the real reason was because countless agents had lost faith in Comey as director of the FBI.
The rank and file of the FBI had lost confidence in their director.
Here's what Mueller found. The evidence does not support those claims, and Sanders acknowledged to investigators that her comments were not founded on anything. Number 4. You might not like this one. The P-tape might not be real. The P-tape, as you might remember, is perhaps the most salacious detail from the so-called Steele dossier. And this is a text message that Michael Cohen exchanged with a Russian businessman. He was apparently doing some back-channel negotiation. The Russian businessman texted him saying, quote, that he had stopped the flow of tapes from Russia. Yes, that was his actual choice of words. Stopped the flow. Now, according to Mueller's report, there's a footnote that the businessman in question did not believe that the tape was real. But even if the tapes were fake, clearly Donald Trump's closest ally at the time, Michael Cohen, his longtime lawyer who was in constant communication with Donald Trump, clearly he believed that the tapes could be real. Or why would he have gone to the effort of trying to stop the flow? Number 5. Trump worked his butt off trying to stop the Russia investigation and trying to block Robert Mueller from doing his job. I'm just going to list a couple of these things. First of all, we know that he asked Comey if he could let go of the investigation of Michael Flynn, which Comey didn't do. Comey then, a little bit later, got fired, which led to the appointment of Special Counsel Mueller. Trump tried repeatedly to get Jeff Sessions to unrecuse himself. And when he wouldn't unrecuse himself, he tried to get other people to put pressure on Sessions. He tried to get Corey Lewandowski, his old campaign manager, to try to put pressure on Jeff Sessions. He asked Don McGahn to fire Mueller, and then he asked Don McGahn to lie about whether he had asked him to commit this act. Person after person was put in the position of being asked to obstruct justice. And the report has made it clear that one of the only reasons that the president did not effectively, completely obstruct justice is because a lot of these times people refuse to do the illegal thing that he asked them to do. Number 6. You know how Donald Trump keeps saying this?
No collusion, no collusion, no collusion.
This report says that that word doesn't even mean anything. Let me read it to you. We applied the framework of conspiracy law, not the concept of collusion. Collusion is not a specific offense or theory of liability found in the United States Code, nor is it a term of art in federal criminal law. Last point, and most important, definitively, Contrary to what the president says, this report is not an exoneration. Here's what the report says. Because we determined not to make a traditional prosecutorial judgment, we did not draw ultimate conclusions about the president's conduct. If we had had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state. Based on the facts and the applicable legal standards, we are unable to reach that judgment. Accordingly, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. The report's conclusion makes it clear. If the special counsel came to the conclusion that Trump was an innocent man, they would have said so. They didn't. So while the president may not be prosecuted for any criminal conspiracy or obstruction of justice, his behavior, as documented in this report, even with its heavy redactions, raises serious questions and concerns. I know this report has left me with a lot more questions, and I suspect you have a lot as well. Type them in the comments, and in our upcoming coverage, we will do our best to address all of your questions. I think there's a P tape, right?